Howdy, y'all. This is Proverbs 18 in the NKJV from May the 18th, 2023. A man who isolates himself seeks his own desire. He rages against all wise judgment. A fool has no delight in understanding, but in expressing his own heart. When the wicked comes, contempt comes also, and with dishonor comes reproach. The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is a flowing brook. It is not good to show partiality to the wicked or to overthrow the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calls for blows. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down into the inmost body. He who is slothful in his work is a brother to him who is a great destroyer. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own esteem. Before destruction, the heart of a man is haughty, and before honor is humility. He who answers a matter before he hears it, it is folly and shame to him. The spirit of a man will sustain him in sickness, but who can bear a broken spirit? The heart of the prudent acquires knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeks knowledge. A man's gift makes room for him and brings him before great men. The first one to plead his cause seems right until his neighbor comes and examines him. Casting of lots causes contentions to cease and keeps the mighty apart. A brother offended is harder to win than a strong city, and contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's stomach shall be satisfied from the fruit of his mouth. From the produce of his lips shall he be filled. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and those who love it will eat its fruit. He who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. The poor man uses entreaties, but the rich answer roughly. A man who has friends must himself be friendly, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother. No judgment here, and maybe speaking to myself. However, I've tried to remedy the situation, right? So, a man who isolates himself seeks his own desire, and he rages against all wise judgment. I don't need to go to church. I can worship where I am. Whatever. Replace it, right? Maybe. Maybe you don't want that iron against iron of other believers telling you, like, hey man, that's not right. Or maybe not even calling you out about that's not right, but hey, this is the way. Let's do this together, and let's do this correctly. Let's worship correctly. Let's praise correctly. Let's practice correctly. Let's teach and disciple correctly. Discipleship. You don't just get saved and get some fire insurance. You're supposed to follow. So you go from saved, baby believer, young believer, on a disciple, the path of discipleship. You're supposed to grow, and at some point you're taking on, you're producing fruit, and you're taking on new believers and trying to shepherd them and teach them. And fools expressing their own heart, that's what they delight in. Like, man, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all kinds of spiritual people teaching us spiritually kind of things just because that's how they feel and that's their opinion, right? The words of a man's mouth are deep waters. Yeah, think about the deep web, not the dark web, the deep web, the stuff you can't even search. Think about all the words you've ever uttered. As a guy who's prone to anger and really working on his foul speech, I am excited that I am forgiven by Jesus, but not excited to sit down and have a chat with him and God about all the idle words that I've uttered, which the scripture tells us we will. So I believe I'm forgiven and thankful for it, but how much shame for each of these things when we confront our lives after the fact. It's such a crazy, not crazy. I just like the phrasing, the trifles. The words of a talebearer are like tasty trifles, and they go down in the inmost body. You know, when you listen to somebody talk about somebody, you get a little chuckle out of it, a little Schadenfreude, something like that. I mean, that's what we're looking at here. I was trying to hide from the kids, but this isn't going to work out, is it? It's coming for me. Oh, let's see. Hello. Take it. The deal's a deal. Finished all the schoolwork. We made our deliveries. He's been a good boy. It's his turn. Time to play some PBS Kids games on the tablet. Not a sponsorship or an endorsement. Just, we love our PBS and PBS Kids. If he drops that tablet, I will be upset with that little man, though. I digress. Sorry about that. One of the guys in my church, house church, and dude group suggested I start streaming. So nobody's really watching this, so that's cool. And that's what I told him, is like, man, I was really high up in Call of Duty Zombies, like really high up, and to the point I wanted to cancel a business trip because I didn't want my rankings to slip. Hey, folly, man. Sometimes you're chasing the wrong things, I guess. And pride, right? Pride. I got look at this cool thing I did. Anyway, I'm considering streaming. I don't know who would watch that. I don't know who's watching this. If you're watching this, thank you. But I turned my oldest onto a Nintendo game I had when I was little called Spiritual Warfare. And it's like a Zelda, they call it a Zelda clone, but it's the same as Uncle Fester's Adventure. Like, it looks the same. So maybe I'll play that through and stream it. And his take was, my friend in the dude group was like, that could be my shtick, right? So I'm trying to play a game or play on my computer, and I'm constantly getting interrupted by 1, 2, or 3 kids. So that could be funny. People who have kids could probably appreciate that. And that would certainly break the barrier of me, not being able to stream because I don't have time to just do it without kids. Yesterday we got the new Zelda game, and oh my gosh, is it a big deal, so that's what they're going to ask me as soon as I go back in. Can we play Zelda before the next delivery? Okay. So death and life are in the power of the tongue. Those who love it will eat its fruit. Those guys. And the next verse. If you find a wife, you get favor from God. My 2 greatest challenges. I mean, don't get me wrong. Dudes respond a little differently, right? We not all of us need encouragement. Some of us need a direct challenge to steel up. So it's not great to talk mean to yourself or poorly to yourself, especially like in the mirror and stuff. So there's that. But equally as important, if not more, is how I speak to those kids and how I speak to my wife. So speak life. Help everybody around you flourish. Help them see God's love because of the way you act, not just what you say. Practice what you preach, but don't preach, just act. That's all I got, fam. Be blessed. Go with God. I don't normally wear witness wear, but this is a classic, right? You gotta love it. And then on the back, the nail through the wrist, his pain, your gain. Gotta love it. Got a lot of witness wear that I've been given or bought over the years. Some of them are like hokey, right? Like, instead of Call of Duty, it's called To Duty. It's okay. I got a couple of them that are interesting. I almost like the ones that are just more explicit. I have one from a church camp from when I was in junior high school. The fact that I have these clothes tells you, like, I hang on to stuff. I try to take care of stuff. But it just says www.god.com, and on the back it says surf.the.word. That's it. And I'll still wear it. So I want to work on some witness wear. Especially, I don't necessarily have the time to hone my drawing skills, but certainly am in the AI sphere. And I'm going to continue to do my thing here and build a community here. I know I started this talking about what I wanted to do, garden stuff, community stuff, this and that, but you know what? I think I just had to take a couple of months to build this discipline and do it for its original purpose, which was just to have a discipline visible in my Proverbs, and then now it's gone to daily verse, which I'm trying to figure out if people are interested in my commentary on that instead of like 5 to 10 seconds of me like spouting a verse, more of a devotional. If that should be 2 parts, I don't feel like the way shorts works, it's going to be like part 1, part 2, and they're just going to be disjointed. So I don't know. Maybe I'll put a poll out there. I don't have a whole lot of subscribers that are seeing my post or wanting to interact with them, which is cool. But that'd be the primary way that I ask. So, all right, phone's going to overheat, and I just know it. Let me go check in on there because there are 3 of them in there, and anything could be happening. Be blessed. Go with God.